The Herr Sprint Series continues its season, and for the first time ever in the Sprint Series, we have ourselves a standalone event here, and it's at the Willow Springs International Raceway, the first road course of the season. And also for the first time in the Sprint Series, we are going to have ourselves a cycle of pit stops. It's going to be a lot of fun here, and these guys, they're going to have a lot of fun around the twists and turns. This 2.5 mile road course in Rosamond, California. It's the California Grand Prix here in the Herr Sprint Series, race 6 of the season for Sprint Series Night in America. Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to Willow Springs International Raceway. We are here for the California Grand Prix, the first of, I believe, 5 road course races this season here in the Herr Sprint Series. Excited to see how it all ends up shaking out. We got ourselves an interesting race about to unfold here today because Herr Alonso starts on the pole position. You know what? He keeps on telling me I'm looking for that first road course win. Well, this is the best opportunity he's ever had at getting a road course win on the channel. He almost won last week though at Las Vegas. Couldn't hold on to it because Juan Romero, who was his teammate for this race, passed him on the last lap. Joined alongside Nathan Stapleton for the call of tonight's event. And Nathan, this is a very fun road course. Came into NR2003, at least our little circle of NR2003 a couple years ago, and it's a lot of things that could go wrong here at Willow Springs. How do you think these guys are going to play it out here for 12 laps around this 2.5 mile road course?
Well, Willow Springs is a very unique road course. It's a very fast road course, so a lot of twists and turns, like you said, but there's also a lot of passing zones. It wouldn't look like this, but there's quite a few different spots that you can get a pass done, and there's also quite a few spots where if things go the wrong way, we could have a spin crash with some contact. So it's a very interesting road course and a very fast road course, and I'm very much looking forward to see what happens here in Willow Springs, California.
Yeah, let's not waste too much of your time here. We'll get these guys to roll off here in just a moment, though, but we'll check in on the points real quick first. Alexander Rowe, 18 points on the field, only 5 races in, which is definitely impressive for the driver right there who has been in every race so far this season. He starts in the 53 today, and he starts in that 7th position, so he's got a pretty good shot at getting this win. Alonso starts on the pole as the driver who's 18 points behind. Skylar Terrell, the highest of the full-timers. They are 21 points behind. Chris Reynolds, 26 behind, and then Nathan Faden, 33 points behind. Highest driver in the points with a win is actually Juan Romero, who won last week at Las Vegas. He's 34 points behind. Let's go ahead and get these drivers to roll off here from Willow Springs. And like I mentioned, it is Herr Alonso on the pole position in the 96. Baltazar Steep on the outside pole there. And, a great opportunity for Baltazar to get his first career win on the channel. There's definitely a strong run at Las Vegas last week, and he's going to have a good shot at it here today at Willow Springs. Juan Romero looking to go 2 in a row here in the Sprint Series. We've yet to have a multiple-time winner this season. Alongside the 50 machine, that car driven by Vinny Scholes this week there for Appalachian Motorsports. 69 machine, that is Andrew Williams. Because he was trying to get in that 53 every week, but couldn't make it this time around. So he's in the 69 alongside the 99 of Zayden Davidson. We got Alexander Rowe in the 53 alongside the 92 of Brandon Nelson. 55 is Skylar Taylor, Santiago Labarito there in row number 5. You got the 02 machine there of Richard Tingart to the inside of Joey Brown. 25, Michael Lewis to the inside of Corey Case in the 57. 64 is Aaron Abel alongside the 52 of Chris Reynolds. We got Nathan Faden, Dylan Matthews, Christian Master, Joe Rutkowski in the 90 once again. The 05 of Anthony McClure, the 93 of Eric Monaco. And not a good day for Titan Fury. 2 new drivers for those guys. Leonard Coxmar in the 4, and then the 13 of Josh Herman. Well, Nathan, that's the field. Who's getting it done here in this California Grand Prix?
Well, I'm liking some track position here, and I'm liking a little bit of Australian flavor. I'm going to go with my guy in the number 92 of Brandon Nelson. He's had a struggling season, but starting 7th inside the top 10, I think that's where you want to be. And who knows, maybe we can finally have some luck on the channel this year for the NS Racing machine.
Yeah, not been as good of a season for you guys in the Sprint Series this year as it was last year. But hey, we'll have to see what Brandon Nelson can do. Here we go. Green flag is in the air at Willow Springs in the California Grand Prix. The first ever standalone event of the Herr Sprint Series is underway here in Southern California. Already pretty tight battle between Baltzar Steep and Herr and Alonso. Alonso able to get the advantage, though, at the start. 3 wide there for second. You got Juan Romero trying to get to the outside of Vinny Schultz and Baltzar Steep, and Baltzar trying to get to the inside of Alonso down the hill. And they're still side by side for this top position. You're going to see a lot of that in this race, I feel like. Hey, you know, we saw that Riverside race last week in the IndyCar Series. I'm telling you, we've got a good streak going on. And, you know, it's funny, we recorded that race before the Atlanta Cup race, and the Atlanta Cup race had a very close finish. Actually, closer than any finish we've had already this year. Baltazar, though, he's going to take the race lead away from Herr and Alonso there on lap number 1. That 96 might not really be up to speed here because Vinny Schultz also looking for second on Alonso there, but it's Baltazar Steep leading lap number 1. And our cycle pit stop, it's going to be right around halfway here today as well. Just past halfway in this race, but since we are on the road course as well, no cautions here at Willow Springs. Juan Romero going to shuffle out of line right there as Alonso gets passed by Vinny Schultz. Good run for Vinny here today in that 50 machine.
Great run for Vinny Schultz in the number 50 up to second. How about this racing behind the race leader? Just absolutely chaos. 6 cars under a blanket for basically 2nd through 7th, going into the I don't know what to really call this, but side by side.
I forget the numbers too.
I don't really know the numbers here, but it's a great road
next
course.
time as they go around. You know, I don't do races on these, especially a road course like this, because you know we really don't see any other races in real life here, so we don't tend to remember the numbers of each turn. How about Juan Romero in this 87? Won last week at Las Vegas, looking to maybe get one done here at Willow Springs, and you know what? That'd be good for his championship fight. Chris Alexander, our points leader, still top 10 there in that 80 or in that 53 machine, I should say. Alonso trying to rebound. Alonso's going to get back around Vinny Schultz, and Vinny slipping back in that 50 machine. But all this battling for second, allowing Baltzar Steep to pull away. There's turn 1 for you, right there. That left-hander. Of course, all these corners are essentially wide, sweeping corners. And then down in the turn number 2 right here, which is a wide, sweeping right-hand corner for these guys, and a very wide, sweeping corner at that. About Vinny Schultz there on Santiago Labarita. Great run for Santiago. Best run he's had all season in that 5 machine. Top 5 run for him right now. There's turn number 3 up the hill to turn 4. Turn 4, another wide sweeping corner as they go down the hill. The turn 5 is someone's off. That's Santiago Labarito. Just as I was mentioning, he was having a good run here in this race. It's turn 6 by the old IndyCar Series logo. Up the hill to turn 7. Little kink there for turn number 8. And then turn number 9 here for the wide sweeping right-hander to close it all out. Actually, turn 9 and then turn 10. They just keep on going around this course. So that's how it lines up here. Romero trying to close in on Baltzar Steep right here as Labarito to the inside of Alonso. How about the international drivers doing an excellent job here today as Juan Romero closing in on Baltzar Steep. He may actually take this race lead on this lap.
There's 87-1 at Las Vegas, trying to go 2 in a row on the West Coast. Might get the job done here, trying to close in on this 88. And here's the thing, we are all the way on that 4 of 12, pit stops about halfway. And this is when you have to not only be up towards the front, top 3, top 5, but also have to set themselves up, be in that top 5, and hope they get a good pit stop to take advantage of the final 5 or so laps. Chaos all over the place. We've always seen a couple of contact and a couple of close calls, like the 64. I don't know what happened to and Abel, but he's off the pace, and that's just the nature of Willow Springs. It's a narrow, well, course, not a lot of room, and a lot of places they can unfortunately go off wide, but that's not happened to the A8 yet. Maybe once, but so far it's so good for that Pepsi Ford Mustang.
And Balthazar Steep has led every lap so far as well, looking for his first career win on the channel. Oh boy, got some contact there between Brandon Nelson and Alonso. You know, we jinxed him when we mentioned, you know, him looking for that first road course win, and he's just fallen back this entire race. Just no speed in that 96 machine there. Skylar Taylor, though, looking to get around Corey Case. Of course, our Daytona winner back in action there for Andrews Racing. Still side by side between Brandon Nelson and Herr and Alonso right there. Everyone else kind of starting the single file out. You got Juan Romero there and Santiago Labarito in second and third, respectively. Labarito might actually find a way around this 87 up the hill. Trying to get something to work on that inside lane as you go back down the hill. It's such a unique corner right there. Going up the hill, that blind right-hander, and then going down the hill, you carry a lot of momentum, and Brandon Nelson's going to use that momentum to get around Alonso right there. Of course, everyone's still on the lead lap, which is good to see. Something did happen to Aaron Abel as he's a little bit off the pace right there. Might have gotten sent off course. You see the damage on that 64 machine, not exactly what Aaron Abel wanted. Not been a good season for Aaron Abel. He's been in all these races so far, but has not had much success. Santiago, though, to the inside of Juan Romero. And and how about Vinny Scholes also looking to get around Juan Romero as well. And Vinny's going to take third away. And don't look now, here comes Zayden Davidson in the 99. Now, of course, with Vinny Scholes being a development driver to Brennan Wilmington, Vinny's ineligible to run in the Cup race on Saturday. Of course, top four finishers will advance on and run in the Castrol 500K on Saturday in the Cup Series. So we're excited to see how that ends up shaking out. Only our first true, I mean, it's technically a short track. Chassis type is short track for Phoenix. It's going to be fascinating to see how that ends up shaking out. And you know what? Some of these guys are going to be in that race. Balthazar Steep, Santiago Labarito, Juan Romero, and then you got the 99 there. Zayden Davidson looking to advance on and have a shot. How about three of our top five full-timers here in the Sprint Series?
The full-time drivers are showing up here today at Willow Springs, and it's about time for these pit crews to get a real chance to show what they got. On lap 6 of 12, if what we think is correct, we should see maybe this time by, if not next time by, here for pit stops, and that could really determine who ends up getting this win, because Steep has been up for the entire race so far, and let's say that's not going to be the case. It doesn't look like any of the leads are going to come down on lap number 6.
So I think it's going to be next time. Oh, man. We got a couple of them back in there. Number 4 machine, Leonard Coxemer in the 4. First career start for Leonard. And then you got Dylan Matthews as well. Of course, we're at halfway at this point. Actually, these two guys may not be at halfway because their pit stalls are just before the start-finish line. But regardless of the fact, they'll be able to make it to the end of the race there. And only right sides for Coxmar and Matthews there in the 39. A little bit of a slower stop there for the 39 of Dylan Matthews. And now you got Balthazar Steep, who's got Santiago Labarito behind him. How about these two drivers both going for their first career wins on the channel here today? You know, a great opportunity for one of them to maybe get it done. And how about these guys? Santiago's had an excellent run here. And look at those fastest laps. And third quickest fastest lap there for Santiago. Baltzar's got the second quickest, and I think Juan Romero's got the third quickest. And all these guys are full-timers, so if that stays, that's how they'll line up going into Bristol next week. And hey, Bristol's a place where you want to start up front, so these guys definitely taking advantage of what they've got here today. But then again, the cycle of pit stops here, these guys take tires. They may end up getting some fast laps here at the end of this race. As here we go. Our leader's going to come down. Most of our leader's going to come down. Zayden Davidson's going to stay out there another lap. That's going to be interesting to see how that strategy plays out. Alexander Rowe also staying out there, our points leader. That could be interesting for Alexander Rowe. And we'll just have to see. Will they shortcut? Will they go fuel only? I mean, is that the thing you want to do? Of course, tire wear definitely a thing that's going to come into effect on a road course. But Balthazar Steep here in the 88. At least taking right side tires. Juan Romero doing the same thing as well, so is the 50. And it is, in fact, oh boy, Oh boy. Santiago's going to win the race off the pit lane right there. A great stop for the number 5 of Santiago Labarito. Trying to get his first crew win. Same with Balthazar Steep, though. But they're clearing ahead of the rest of the field right there. But how about this 4 machine? How about that strategy out of Leonard Coxmar in the 4? First career start for him. Started in the last row here on a road course, and we'll see where Alexander Rowe and the 99 is Aiden Davidson end up filing in, but they could end up being in the top 5 right there. That's going to be very fascinating for Leonard if he can pull that off. All right, Nathan, a lot going on right here, but how about that move from that 5 crew? And you know what? First pit stop of the year for the Sprint Series. Won't be the last. We'll have pit stops on all the road courses this year in the Herr Sprint Series, but how about Santiago Labarito going for his first career win here at Willow Springs?
And right now, the way that things are looking out, about to be 4 laps to go at the line, this number 5 for Hollywood Motorsports could get the race run here today, because we've seen Steep be the dominant car, but the number 5 of the Burrito, I butchered that, I know, he did catch up to the A8. Oh no! Well, maybe the strategy did not work out for the number 4.
Penalized there. That's a tough break for his first career start. Meanwhile, there's Alexander Rowe coming off the pit lane, and there's Aiden Davidson getting ahead of Vinny Scholes, but you know what? This race is between Santiago and Balthazar. The 2 drivers going for the first career wins. Vinny's going to get around for 3rd, but she is 2.5 seconds off. Actually, almost 3 seconds off Santiago Labarito here, and we've only got 3 laps to go next time by. 3.5 laps to go at this point, to be exact. Those fastest laps still going to Juan Romero, Balthazar Steep, and Santiago Labarito, and that's going to play a huge factor in Bristol, because where you start there also means quite a bit to how you finish. Of course, Santiago, where did he start for this one? He was deep in the field for this race. I believe he started 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He started 10th for this race. He started in the 10th position, and he worked his way through the field right there, and this number 5's got some speed. With 3 laps to go, we'll see if Balthazar Steep can close in, and that's very likely. And hey, don't count out Vinny Scholes. That 50 machine's also very quick. It's going to be very interesting here as we get closer to the finish of this race.
I mean, hey, Willow Springs is not the most difficult road course to pass. Not anywhere close, and from 10th to 2nd before pit stops, and then first after pit stops, an incredible drive from that number 5 machine. Still gonna be a good point stay for this A8 machine, but might be feeling a little bit disappointed in his pit crew here if he cannot close in time. I think did gain a couple of tenths last time by, but a couple's not gonna do it, especially when they only have 2.5 laps to go here in the California Grand Prix. Top 3 are all separated by about 3 seconds here at Willow Springs.
Well, one thing I know for sure, if this stays the way it is, Alexander Rowe will remain the points leader and actually extend his points lead going into Bristol. And he's got an 8th place run right now in the fastest lap. It means an outside start at Bristol, not necessarily what you want, but of course that does also mean that the guys ahead of him have to sign up as well, so doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be the case.
Oh.
Somebody's off. Richard Tingard in the 0-2. And that's a tough break for him right there. He gets stuck in the grass, or actually in the gravel, I should say. And it looks like Labarito pulling away there from Balthazar Steep as well. However, you never know what can happen here at Willow Springs. You got to be careful each and every lap. And it's going to be interesting to see if Labarito can, in fact, hold on and get his first career win.
1.5 laps to go. Feeling pretty good, but like we saw from, unfortunately, Richard Kinghart, looks like he probably got spun out somehow, as his incident here in turn 4 as well, but you definitely don't want to get stuck down on some of these way, like, cannon-type, off places here, because there's a lot of room, but there's also not a lot of easy ways to get back onto the racetrack, so definitely looking at it. Might have about a second here on the last lap. Vinny Shoals and Baltazar Steep, but it's looking pretty good for this 5 machine to get the win here today.
White flag in the air here in the California Grand Prix for Santiago Labarito, looking for his first career win on the channel. And looking to advance on to his first ever Wawa Cup Series race as well. That's going to be a huge deal for him. I believe that Grattan Autosports got the first spot still. I actually didn't look at that before I started this race, and my apologies for that. But regardless of the fact, we know that Santiago is going to be in a ride the way things are looking right now. Same with Baltazar Steep there in second. Zayden Davidson in the 99 there, and then Alexander Rowe looking to once again run in the Wawa Cup Series this year. You know, he's done that a lot already. And he's been in more Wawa Cup Series races than anybody else in the Sprint Series so far this year. Santiago Labarito, 1.7 seconds, and he got this win on the pit lane. And you know what? First time ever for the pit stops in the Herr Sprint Series. That definitely became a major factor in this one because F5 had a much better stop, got clear out ahead of Baltazar, and pulled away near the end of this race. And Santiago Labarito for Hollywood Motorsports, Mason Wood, the owner of this team. Not only is it going to be a first-time win for Labarito, it's going to be a first-time owner win for Mason Wood as well. And how about this for this 5 machine, getting it done on the first standalone event of the season in the Herr Sprint Series. Santiago Labarito wins the California Grand Prix here at Willow Springs. Baltazar Steep is second. Vinny Shoals is third. Then Zayden Davidson and Alexander Rowe gets that last transfer spot to run on Saturday at Phoenix. And you know what? I just remembered this. Alexander Rowe has won at Phoenix before in the Cup Series. 4 years ago he got that win. Santiago Labarito wins it in the 5 machine here at Willow Springs. He's got the 3rd best time on the fastest lap as well. And they got the 87 machine there of Juan Romero, who is going to start on the pole next week in the Tennessee 200. No? Yeah. Tennessee 200 at Bristol. That's going to be a lot of fun there on the short track. And you got Baltazar Steep in second on the fastest lap with Labarito 3rd. 25 machine there of Michael Lewis getting the 4th quickest lap. Corey Case, the 50 machine there of Vinny Shoals. The 96 machine of Herr Arvin Alonso with the 7th quickest lap. You got Alexander Rowe, 99 there. Take a look at the rest of the fast lap there. We'll get that written down for you all and figure it all out. And there's the rest of it there for the fastest lap. Santiago Labarito gets it done here at Willow Springs. And you see the rest of the results right there. I mean, we couldn't beat Caleb's time that he had on Friday with the IndyCar series, I guess. But you know what? Still a fun race, and we actually had 3 different leaders. And, you know, it's the one time we'll be going to Willow Springs on a stock car, but I think IndyCar is going to be here in a couple of days, either tomorrow or Friday night. I'm not sure when Caleb's going to put that up for y'all, but it's going to be a lot of fun once IndyCar gets here. But final thoughts on this race, and you know what? Santiago Labarito going to be in that Cup race on Saturday at Phoenix. What are you looking forward to at Phoenix on Saturday?
Oh boy. First off, a pretty solid race here at Willow Springs. From the short time that you've done Willow Springs and I've done Willow Springs, it's never disappointed, and a great one here with a 3-car battle pretty much all the way to long. A couple of tough races with Aaron Abel and Richard Kinghart, and the same with the number 4. Had a good track position, but then had to come back down pit road, so very unfortunate. But as far as Phoenix, the first short track race of the season, oh boy, that's going to be very, very good. First duel in the desert race of the season, and probably the only one in the Wawa Cup Series. But Phoenix is great, and I'm very much looking forward to that one. Hopefully NS Racing can finally have some better luck over there, but it's going to be interesting if who can tackle the flat 1 mile short track here for the Wawa Cup Series.
It's going to be a lot of fun on Saturday for the Castrol 500K. It's a great race last year. I think we're in store for another good one this year, so excited to see how it all goes down. And hey, Santiago Labarito going to be in that one for his first ever Cup Series start, along with Baltazar Steep, Zayden Davidson, and Alexander Rowe. Thank you so much for watching. We got signups for Bristol coming up just a couple of minutes. It'll be a lot of fun there for the Tennessee 200. And we'll see you guys next week from Bristol at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for the second short track of the season for these guys. We opened up the season in New Smyrna a little over a month ago. Now we're going to have all the types of racetracks already under our belt here in the Sprint Series in only 7 races. It's going to be a lot of fun. Here are the point standings for the Herr Sprint Series after 6 races. Here are the owner standings as well. Congratulations to Santiago Labreach for getting the win here at Willow Springs. On behalf of Nathan Stapleton, I will see you guys later.